So I'm going to give you my favorite stretches to improve your backswing. And what I'm going to talk about in the backswing is mainly our thoracic rotation, which is the rotation of the upper back. So many clients of mine come to see me and they've got really poor rotation. Typically, people that I see are either busy professionals, they're golf pros that typically practice hundreds of reps all to one direction, never any other handed swings. So after a while, you start to get these changes over a period of time. So in our body, keeping some sort of balance is really important. In saying that, we're never going to be the same. Left and right, there's always going to be some slight differences, but if we can get that difference within a 10% range, you're going to find you have less stiffness, less pain, and less injuries in the long term. So let's talk about my favorite thoracic rotation stretches, and let's get through them right now. So the first stretch here is an open book. So we're going to have our knees bent at 45 degrees, my hips going to be stable, I'm going to be supporting my neck with my hand here. So we call this an open book because it's like we're opening a page. So my right arm's coming down towards the ground here, I'm trying to open, and I'm bringing my right shoulder blade down towards the ground whilst I'm trying to keep this still, right? Here's our anchor point, my knees are my anchor point, and my hips are locked. We really want to try and segment the back. We don't want everything moving at the same time. So we're focusing on our upper spine here. So let's go, let's open up. Join me with this as well if you're at home watching. I want you to try and pull that right shoulder back towards the ground, adding in some deep breaths, in and out, and then you come back in. So with this stretch, I'd like you to go back and forth, hold it for 2 seconds at the end, and then come back in. So we're going to do that 30 seconds on each side. That's number one, the open book. Number two, in this same position, we're going to do a bow and arrow. So with my lead arm here outstretched, you can relax your neck on your shoulder if you'd like to. Feel free to use some sort of pillow. You can use a foam roller, something like that to support yourself. So I'll use my foam roller down here because you've got to practice what you preach. So here we go, I've got my foam roller here. My neck's feeling comfortable. I've got my hips locked. I'm going to reach forward like I'm going forward through a bow action here. Then I'm pulling back. My elbow is trying to drive back, similar to our open book. And we're going to find that this targets a slightly different part of the upper back. With the open book, it's a bit more general. With the bow and arrow, if you're doing it correct, you're targeting the upper part of the thoracic spine. So I'm pulling, the elbow's going almost in line with my sternum here, and I'm pulling that shoulder down towards the ground. Again, adding deep breaths in and out, that's going to help expand our ribs, expand our intercostal muscles that sit between the ribs. So it's a great stretch to add into your routine. So progressing from there, we're going to up the ante a little bit. We're going to up the intensity. So in this stretch here, we're going to be in 4-point kneeling. So hands and knees. In this position, it's quite tricky as well. We're going to have our hand behind our neck, so it's going to challenge our balance a little bit. And from here, we're pulling that elbow towards the ceiling. So again, we're keeping our left hand stable. As we're rotating up, our hips will rotate with us naturally. Try and keep them blocked to some extent. We don't want to pull back, otherwise we're not going to target the upper back as well as we want to. So from face on, we'll try the same. Elbow pulling back. Taking a deep breath in and out. So that one is a great stretch. It's a bit more intensity. If you find that's too tricky to do, then you can skip over that one. Now, we're using a foam roller. If you haven't got one, you can use a towel or something similar. But let's go with this because I've got it here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to target this foam roller just below our shoulder blades. I don't want you going any lower than that. I don't want this on the lower back. As you can see, as soon as I put it there, there's a lot of pressure and I can barely talk. So let's keep it around the lower part of our shoulder blades. Hands behind neck, always supporting our neck. We're going to have our abs braced, arching back. And this is a very small movement. There's not much extension of the thoracic spine. If I'm just flopping there, I'm not targeting the specific joints. We want to target joint by joint as we're moving up the back. So we're going to add in just 5 extensions, going back and forth, slowly breathing in and out. Then we're going to go up a level, so just moving it up an inch. Same again, extending, and then coming back in. Then we'll go up a level again, coming back in. So there you go, there's a thoracic extension with the foam roller. Now we've got lucky last, and I'm saving my favorite to last just for you guys. This one is called the X Factor stretch. And also, if you're enjoying these stretches, make sure to go to my website, www.golfphysiotherapyaustralia.com. You'll find there's a free mobility guide there for you. You get access to my Golf Fitness app with all of my specific golfing stretches there. You're going to love them. You get 10 days of free access. You don't need to put any credit card information. I do it because I love spreading fitness amongst the golf fitness community. I want you to play golf longer, and I want you to play golf as long as you'd like to. But there's a little rant for you. So let's get you in this position, 90 degrees. I've got this leg outstretched. So this is a great exercise. We're getting multiple different areas worked on. We've got my glute stretching. I've got my hip flexor stretching here. I'm adding in my rotation, my thoracic rotation, and I'm reaching out. So again, I'm supporting my neck with my hand. I'm adding in some deep breaths as I'm doing that. So there you go. They are my favorite thoracic rotation stretches to help with your backswing. Make sure if you're enjoying the exercises, jump to my website, subscribe to the channel, send it to a golfing buddy of yours that's struggling with their golf swing, with their body. I'd love for them to improve, and I'd love for you to improve. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.